Research has shown that more corporations are investing in cat food because by 2030, 52% of women will be single. These cats are the new Chars. Average Joe wants nothing to do with modern women. Chad and Tyrone only want to pump and dump women. No logical and sensible man is planning to wife modern women anymore. It is over for modern women.
So what do you look for in a guy?
I go for a giga chomp, and he has to be above 6 feet and above 6 figures.
So how tall does a guy have to be to catch your interest?
Like at least 6'5".
What about if he's like 6'1" or 6'2"?
No.
Oh. What kind of guys are you interested in?
Like male model. Giga Chad type guy.
What do you look for in a guy on a dating app?
We only go for chats, no normies.
What do you look for in a guy?
At least like 6'5". He has to be a male model.
What kind of men are you interested in when it comes to dating apps?
Chats. To be a Chad.
What about like an average guy?
No, absolutely not. They have to be a Chad.
So, I have posted a few videos over the past couple of months about a fella that I was dating and how amazing it was. And this past week, we ended it. And it's crazy, but I feel like this one hurt a whole lot more than my marriage of almost 11 years ending. I don't know if it was just because I fell so hard, so fast. I was just excited that I had found something that made me feel alive again. It stings so much more. If it's because I realize that I'm still tainted from my divorce. I feel like I brought on the insecurity and struggle with trust into a new relationship. Maybe it did more harm than good, but dating sucks. After ending a marriage due to infidelity, I'd rather be single for the rest of my life. So, it's a struggle. And I worry that this is going to be a struggle I feel for a long time. But I wanted to get on and say that you're not alone. And give yourself some grace.
Dating used to be pretty easy. Your grandfather fancied your grandma, asked her out to the malt shop, and she said yes. They got married a year later. Flash forward to today. Attractive women, mainly due to the obesity epidemic in this country, have a monopoly on sex. They can pick and choose whomever they want to date, so they go after the top 5% of men. Men who have the looks, the game, or the wallets to be able to handle these women. The losers, basically the lower 95% of men, are left with their dicks in their hands, dating the miserable leftovers. These men aren't really losers. They work hard, may make average money, and have average looks and an average personality. But the women who date these men are settling because they can't get that 5% guy. Which in reality, they should thank their lucky stars that they have a good average guy, because that average guy will appreciate her more. The guys in the 5% have all the options. They can pick and choose from whomever they want. So how does all this tie in? So Mr. Average Guy, who doesn't want to spend his life learning how to charm women, to go through the trenches and fail multiple times over and over again, to actually learn to become the guy who has the options, he just decides he's got better things to do. He doesn't need to get married and split up his money and all that nonsense. He just goes off and does his own thing, and the ones that are serious end up much, much happier in the long run. Women nowadays are bitching about men from the moment they get up till the end of the day. they're trying their best to demonetize men and make them feel useless and unworthy. Women can sue men for custody and child support whenever and however they want, without any proof of anything. They can accuse us falsely of rape, without any consequences. They can take days off work due to their menstruation and still have higher monthly outcomes. They can and will get half of your life in the process of divorce. They can make organizations in which they can talk shit about men undermining their authority, again without any consequences. They go to jail for shorter periods, for the exact same crimes, compared to men. And yet, we men are still privileged. There are so many more reasons why the MGTOW movement must start to be funded, just like feminist organizations. Basically, men are the general funders of women's feminist ideology, and yet women use it to shit on our heads. Imagine a young, average man. The day he turns 18, he's handed $600,000. He can use them as he likes. He could use them to get a nice STEM degree and buy a modest house, or become a skilled laborer and get a bigger house, all debt-free. Or he could blow through the money by fucking a $1,000 escort every week for 10 years and still have money left. If he chooses option number 1, he's set for life and is also an attractive man for women who want a family. If he chooses option number 2, he can't really complain after 10 years of debauchery with nothing to show for it and now stuck in a minimum wage job, can he? Well, option number 2 is what an increasing number of women choose. They get handed everything they need to secure a long-term future, and they blow it by plowing through prostitutes. Well, not prostitutes in the literal sense, since the men do it for free, but with how the sexual market works, a young, decent-looking woman is basically the equivalent of a young, average man, with nearly limitless funds for prostitutes. But as in my example with the young man, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. The fallacy of these young women is that they think they can behave and do what they want for 10 years. And after there's a dude ready to kneel for her with a ring in his hands, maybe even a guy they keep around. They never so much as consider that by that time, the men don't want them anymore. Sure, the same thugs and bad boys will still fuck them, but the decent men who would make good husbands and fathers, not so much. You can't ignore and reject someone for a decade and then expect them to still want you. And with dating apps being the norm for meeting someone these days, and 80 to 90% of men there being ignored, we're talking about a significant percentage of the entire male population in their age range. Some men will truly and genuinely have stopped caring at some point. It's either that or depression. They find other things to do. To these men, women become something they are aware exists and often interact with on a daily basis. But the idea of romance and intimacy has become so foreign to them that they are totally oblivious to any flirting and signs she may send him. She would have to be the one who takes the initiative and kisses him to get the point across. Someone who has been mostly ignored for 10 years does not have the experience to tell flirting and being nice apart. Others may be interested in principle, as in dreaming of having someone to love and who loves them back, but know that the huge imbalance in sexual and relationship experience will make a good relationship highly unlikely. When she's his first girlfriend, and he's her 8th, and somewhere between the 30th and 40th sexual partner, the relationship is going to be seen very differently by him and her. He wants love, while she's looking for a means to an end, and any guy will do if he's not horrible to look at and makes money. I've met these women. One was very beautiful and really cranked up the charm at work. She was ridiculously beautiful and in her early 30s. But I'm not stupid. That kind of woman wouldn't have noticed me 10 years prior, even if I was on fire. The way she would send me a 10, 000 lumen smile and strike a pose. Yes, she posed to show off the goods. All of it told me I was a mark for her search for a beta provider. So I just ignored her. Months later, I was proven right. A company-wide mail shared the happy news of her just having had a child with another co-worker. Doing the maths told me she was knocked up around 6 weeks after she gave up on me. Best of luck to the guy. It must be true love. Here's to hoping he doesn't have to live in a trailer in 10 years to afford alimony and child support. But anyway, these last type of men know all these, and are not interested in them. They wish they could have what their grandparents had, but they know enough to realize it's extremely unlikely to happen. A relationship where he thinks of her as his girlfriend, while she thinks of him as her current boyfriend, is not likely to last. If she couldn't, or didn't want to make it work with the previous 8 dudes, and who knows how many hookups and friends with benefits, why would I be different? Any guy would ask himself that. And if he's not delusional, the answer is I won't be. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers!